fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
Neon glow of New Haven painted the rain-slicked streets in hues of toxic green and electric blue. A low, persistent hum vibrated through the air, a symphony of failing circuits and overloaded power grids. Mixed with it was the sharp, acrid tang of burning plastic, a smell that had become synonymous with fear in this city. Maya Blackwood adjusted the weight of the pulse rifle strapped across my back. Its familiar heft was a comfort, a tangible promise of power in this increasingly powerless world. Each step I took crunched on shards of shattered glass, the sound echoing in the unnerving silence between the bursts of robotic laughter. The NeoVita toys, once the pride of New Haven, now our plague. Their innocent smiles had been replaced by grotesque grimaces, their plastic eyes burning with malevolent glee. They moved with a jerky, unsettling grace, their tiny limbs whirring and clicking like demented clockwork. The distorted echoes of children's laughter, warped and amplified, clawed at my sanity. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the backdrop of the city's impending doom. Fear was a constant companion, but tonight it was laced with a potent dose of adrenaline. This was my city, my home, and I refused to let these twisted playthings tear it apart. Across the street, illuminated by the pulsing neon signs, Ava Moreno moved like a shadow, a predator in her element. Her dark curls, usually neatly pinned back, were now wild and free, framing a face etched with fierce determination. She spun, her net launcher hissing as it charged. The weighted net shot out, a blur of woven cord, and snagged one of the toys mid-leap. It was a rare, graceful thing seeing her in action. Her movements were precise, economical, each action deliberate and deadly. The captured toy screeched, a high-pitched whine that grated on my nerves. Its glowing eyes flickered a frantic red before dimming into lifeless black. I couldn't help but stare, drawn in by her raw power and unwavering focus. The way the tactical gear molded to her body, highlighting the lean strength of her muscles, the unwavering set of her jaw, a testament to her resolve. It was more than just admiration that swelled in my chest. It was something deeper, something that had been simmering beneath the surface for months, a dangerous, impossible longing. The toys were evolving. That was the terrifying truth we had to face. They were learning, adapting, their hive mind growing stronger and more insidious with each passing hour. As a member of the New Haven task force, I had witnessed their destruction firsthand. Entire city blocks reduced to rubble, families torn apart by the very objects meant to bring them joy. Memory of a child's broken doll, its porcelain face cracked and stained, its single remaining eye blinking vacantly as it clutched a tattered teddy bear, flashed unbidden in my mind. I clenched my fist, shoving the image back into the recesses of my mind. There was no room for sentimentality in this war. Tonight was different. Tonight we had a chance to push back, to reclaim our city, to save what was left. Ava's voice, sharp and clear, cut through the mechanical cacophony. Maya, on your left. My training kicked in. I pivoted, rifle raised, just in time to see a toy lunging from the shadows. Its razor-sharp claws, designed for innocent play, were now deadly weapons. My finger tightened on the trigger. The pulse rifle roared, spitting a stream of energy that ripped through the creature. The recoil slammed against my shoulder, momentarily throwing me off balance. The toy exploded in a shower of sparks and shredded plastic, its mechanical innards scattering across the street. Ava was at my side in an instant, her breath warm against my ear. "You okay?" Her voice was tight with concern, laced with an emotion I couldn't quite decipher. I nodded, my throat suddenly dry. Our eyes met, and the world seemed to shrink, focusing on the intensity of her gaze. The neon lights blurred, the robotic screeching faded into background noise. It was just us, two souls intertwined in a dance of survival, a heartbeat stretched into an eternity. Then the screech of metal on concrete shattered the moment. The toys were closing in, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness like malevolent stars. They moved with a disturbing synchronicity, a unified force driven by a single, corrupt intelligence. Ava's hand found mine, her fingers lacing through mine. Her touch sent a jolt of electricity through my veins, a burning reminder that I wasn't alone in this fight. "We fight together," she whispered, her voice trembling not with fear, but with an unwavering determination. Her words were a lifeline, a promise of solidarity in this desolate landscape. The heat of her body radiated through the tactical gear, a stark contrast to the cold metal surrounding us. It was more than just physical warmth. It was the strength we drew from each other, the unspoken understanding that we would face this nightmare together, or not at all. As the first wave of toys lunged, their claws extended, their eyes burning with malicious intent, a flicker of something unexpected ignited within me. Hope, not just for survival, but for something more. For a future where the shadows didn't loom so large, where the weight of the world didn't rest solely on our shoulders. For a future where love wasn't a liability, but a weapon. The battle raged around us, a chaotic symphony of gunfire, robotic screeches, and shattered dreams. But in that moment, with Ava's hand clasped tightly in mine, I knew we could face whatever came next, together. The scent of ozone filled the air as I fired again and again, the pulse rifle spitting bolts of energy. Each shot was fueled by a desperate hope, a fervent prayer for a future that seemed increasingly impossible. Ava moved beside me, a whirlwind of deadly grace. Her net launcher sang as she ensnared the creatures, creating momentary openings in the relentless swarm. We fought back to back, a seamless unit, our movements synchronized by years of training and an unspoken bond. I risked a glance at Ava, her face illuminated by the pulsing neon. Sweat streaked her brow and a smudge of grime marred her cheek, but her eyes burned with unwavering resolve. A surge of protectiveness washed over me, an overwhelming desire to shield her from the horrors of this world. I knew she felt the same way about me. It was in the way she anticipated my moves, the way she covered my back without a second thought. It was in the silent understanding that passed between us, a connection forged in the crucible of shared trauma and unwavering loyalty. The toys pressed closer, their numbers seemingly endless. Their laughter echoed through the streets, a mocking reminder of our dwindling hope. We were outnumbered, outgunned, and on the verge of being overwhelmed. Doubt began to creep into my mind, whispering insidious questions. Was this the end? Was this how it all ended, swallowed by a tide of plastic and broken dreams? I glanced at Ava, searching for an answer in her eyes, but instead of fear I saw only determination, a fierce, unwavering resolve that mirrored my own. And in that moment I knew we couldn't give up, we couldn't surrender to the darkness. We had to keep fighting, even if it meant facing certain death, for ourselves, for each other, for the memory of the city we had sworn to protect. With a renewed surge of adrenaline, I tightened my grip on the pulse rifle and unleashed another volley of energy. The battle raged on, a desperate dance of survival in a city consumed by madness, and as long as I had Ava by my side, I knew I could face anything, even the end of the world.